so we got the Mordor 62 Ford Falcon head. I put the thermostat.
I can't see.
You can't see, Buzzy?
Yeah.
I put the thermostat upside down. I just gave a little test. Looks like it will hold water. So I dumped the water, and now I'm going to put this high concentrate vinegar in there to hopefully eat up a lot of the rust, because it looks like they weren't doing the maintenance back in the day. So we'll see how it works. This is 30% concentrate vinegar. Apparently there's 75% available. Yeah, it's called vinegar, Buzzy.
Oh.
Yeah, so we're going to see if that kind of cleans it. I've used this on an intake manifold on a 48 Plymouth and had some pretty nasty thick rust, and it took it right off. So let's see how it does with this head here. All right, I'm just going to pour it in until it fills up, and you start seeing it come out of these little water ports, or whatever they call it, part of the water jacket. So it's a 1 gallon bottle, and half of it, so about half gallon, and it's starting to come out there. Try to keep it off the seats. Some of what you see there, that liquid's water. And we'll give it some time. I'll do some research and see how long it takes, and we'll start working on the master cylinder. Stay tuned. Okay, my little goodie stash here, a 62 Ford Falcon master cylinder, and drop it. If all-knowing Google is correct, they're saying these are the same from 60 through 66. Alright, so tripping over all the stuff in the garage. I left the bolts in there, so it'll be easier to find it. So let's put this thing on. First we gotta pull off the old rubber. Man, it must have been replaced along the line, because that is pretty like brand new. I think that from 62 it'd be pretty hard by now. Alright, dogs, that's enough. Thank you. Old rubber. Pretty pliable, so it can't be that old. It looks pretty similar to what the new one is. You know, compared to the new car, you got days, just tons of room in these, which is really nice. And there's some other benefits I'm going to point out on these, as far as just ease of working on this. Some ways it's even easier than working on some of the 40s Fords, because they have the cross member the way where this cross member comes out. It's right there, so you get the oil pan off. Kind of cool. Stand by. Okay, it was kind of a little bit of Bearcat. Well, I didn't put any grease on it. Some people do, some say not. On the get the rubber over the little push rod. And now see if we can get this one-handed hold the camera. Get a little bolt started here. Okay, get that started. And for the next one, I'm using the hinge of the hood. Prop the camera up. Really high-tech operation here. Be cool to get a sponsor, but not enough people watch my channel. And when you get a sponsor, you get kind of beholden to the sponsors. Kind of lose your credibility. Okay. Once you got it started, so that way you don't cross it, it has a 1/2 inch, or sorry, 9/16 head on the bolt. Okay, both sides are snug. So here, this held up the whole project. I found my brake line junction block, or whatever they call these. Just important, if you get sidetracked, as life does, you gotta really make sure that these things get put away somewhere where you can find them, because if you're on a tight budget like me, and sometimes it's really hard to find little specialized things like this, or you can find something but you have to adapt it, and so important to, again, store somewhere safe, or just get the job done, and then you won't be missing the parts. All right, let's put this on. Let's close it down with some brake cleaner fluid real quick, inside and out, to get any boogers or bugs out of it. Blew some nice little chunks of goodies out of that. Pull the little cap off here. I need to put hands on that one. If you're new working on cars, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. And I think you just make them snug. Again, just make it snug, not too tight. Don't get any leaks. Alright, I think that's pretty good. Time to put in the brake lines. Ideally, you would want to replace all these lines with something newer, in better shape, but we're just going to try to get this thing running. Ain't broke, why fix it? The lines aren't too rusty or crusted from years. In California climate, we don't use salt, so things don't tend to get as rusted out, as long as you're not by the ocean. It's like on the head on this 3/8, it's a flare nut wrench, or call them line wrenches or flare nut wrenches or whatever. The special head helps you not round these off, especially if they're been in there for a long time. It gets a good grab on more corners than your typical wrench. It's a 3/8. Try to get it started by hand, and then you can finish it off with the wrench. And just make it snug, you don't have to go gorilla on that. Yeah, sometimes you're going to have to wiggle these around a little bit. There's a little bit of rust just to get them started. Okay, tight enough. Let's get this loose a little bit. I'm going to work it forward and make it finger tight. When I finish it off, I might be, if you're stronger than the average bear, I just put it kind of closer to the end so I don't over tighten it rather than reaching all the way out to the end. Alright, a little bit snugged. Okay. Now let's see if we get the old master brake light switch removed from the old one and put on a new one. See if it works. My experience, if you have something that's, even if it's over 60 years old, if it still works, it's going to probably outlast your made in China, foreign, made by slave labor replacement item. So this is already hand tight, so I don't know if that's because I did that. I'll clean it in. We'll put on the new master cylinder. Alright, I kind of cleaned out the best I could. Screw that on there. And it's easy enough to replace it, if it doesn't work. I'm just going to make it hand tight for now. Get back to tighten it later. And I'm sure there's a way you can test those with a voltage meter to see if they work. But anyway, there you go. And you just plug the two little pigtails back on and you'll be back up and running. So it's been about 3 days since that vinegar has been in there, and you can start seeing some of this rust is puking out the water ports. So goes the vinegar. Get some water blowing through this. Getting the stuff flushed out on the bottom. Let me put it flat so I can get it on the other end as well. Someone noticed when I drained the head of the vinegar, this was what was left. This really rusty, muddy residue. So it looks like, plus seeing the jackets in there definitely look cleaner. Seems like this works fairly well. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. You can please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. God bless.